Starting in downward facing dog, take a moment to feel yourself equally rooted into the four corners of your hands and feet. And then lifting your left leg with an inhale, drawing back, bend your knee and allow your left hip to roll open, stacking the sitting bones as you gaze up underneath your left armpit. As your left heel falls, breathe length into the hip and then sweeping with an exhale forward, draw your knee behind your left wrist, landing on the outside of the shin bone as we prepare for pigeon. Now, placing a block or a stack of books underneath your left hip will help to keep space within the back of the knee. If you are lifted up with blocks beneath the hip, some more support beneath your forearms will allow you to fold more comfortably forward initially. Eventually, when you can reach down to the floor, you might be able to reduce the amount of blocks beneath your hip or take them out entirely. Now, there should never be any sharp or shooting sensation within the knee joint here. If you're experiencing any discomfort, come out of the pose. Roll onto your back, and practicing thread the needle instead, bend the left leg, cross it over your right thigh, and interlace your fingers around the shin of the right leg to slowly draw in, breathing through the stretch on the back of your left hip. If you're in traditional pigeon, folding forward, remember that the neck should be softening as the back of your lungs sink in spite of that constant expansion. The back of the heart falls. Now, planting your palms beneath your shoulders, leave your head heavy as you inhale, round your spine up, let your skull be the last thing to finally stack atop the spine. Roll into your left hip and bring your back leg up and over, standing your foot on the floor, somewhat just behind your knee. Now, if your two hips are not grounding equally, roll back and extend your left leg straight out in front of you to widen your foundation. If it's difficult for you to sit upright, wiggle your right foot, which is standing on the floor, forward a little further away from your hips until you no longer need your back arm to keep you propped up. A left elbow can hug or wedges outside the knee as you twist to the right, turning through your belly. The rib cage and the head follow, but bit by bit, focus on the abdomen doing the work of slowly rotating you toward the back wall. Good, face is relaxed. Deep inhales. And then at the end of the exhale, returning to center, send both your legs straight up before you. Cross your shins, roll over your feet, stepping straight back to dog, or go through your flow. Riding the waves of your breath. And downward facing dog, now lifting right leg into the sky, bend your right knee, roll your hip open, let the heel be heavy as you stretch through the front of the thigh and the front of your hip. Gazing underneath the armpit, inhale, lift that back knee a little higher. Exhale, rolling forward, right knee behind the wrist, land to the outside of your shin bone. Find your support, placing your blocks beneath your hip. And of course, if this doesn't feel authentic for your knee, roll onto the back once more and set up thread the needle, crossing this time the right ankle over the left knee. Those of us still maintaining pigeon in the traditional form, exhaling forward, you can stack up your fists or your hands to make a pillow for your forehead. Settling comfortably into the hips. Imagine that you're breathing from your sitting bones, from your hip sockets, upwards. So every inhalation begins in the pelvis and eventually reaches up to the crown of the head. Soften the senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue. Drawing your hands beneath your shoulders, head as heavy as you round the spine up. Drop into your right hip as the left leg sweeps around. Stand the foot onto the floor outside of your right knee. That leg can extend straight out before you if that will help you to become more grounded and more upright. The crown of your head is stretching up toward the ceiling as the belly slowly twists you. The Right arm is shifting outside of the knee. Push the elbow straight toward the earth as the fingers ascend. And then use the strength of that right shoulder to help push the right body deeper into the twist, but never compromising or shortening your breath. Feel yourself getting bigger with every inhale. Roof of the mouth is still relaxed, and the eyes as still as you can keep them, while also soft. That still gaze will bring you to a more still mind. With your inhale, returning to center, extend your legs straight out before you. Exhale, cross your shins as you step back to either lower knees, chest, chin, or straight as a board. Cobra or upward dog. What's your favorite flow? Downward facing. Settling back into your breath. Harmonize the inhale with the exhale in depth and duration.